Yeah.
Welcome to Richtown Music, and sad days for us at Richtown Music. Pod is retiring very shortly.
Sad days, Pod is still here.
No, not at all. Well, possibly sad days for Pod, but I'm sure you're ready for a little bit of a break after giving all your, or I think all of your working life to the music industry.
Very nearly all of it, yeah. All bar about 2 or 3 years, yeah.
Yeah, well, so you've given more to the cause than most people have.
Do you know, I've actually lasted the course a lot more than a lot of people have. That's certainly true. But yeah, I've just kept my head down and been nice to people, and nobody's felt the need to sack me.
We've been talking to Pod over the last few weeks, obviously, because he's not going to be with us for much longer. He's got about a week left as we record this video, and we've had quite a nice few chats over things that we've done over the years, how we've all met each other, and the fact that most of us met Pod when we were 15, all individually. We're all 15, and Pod was his various age, and he gave us all good experiences in previous life. So we're all doing this video and our various social mediaising just to say thank you to Pod for being Pod. But we know that we could ask you boring questions like, oh, what's it been like a change in the industry over 30 years and starting with just a telephone and a piece of paper?
It was a telephone. Bizarrely enough, I can actually remember when we went from having 2 lines to 4. That was amazing. You had to push a button to answer the telephone.
And now we have the internet.
And it's all gone wrong.
Yeah, well, yeah. So, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to ask Pod some in-depth questions, or not even in-depth questions, about what your kind of things are that you like. So the inevitable question is your Desert Island 5 guitars.
Desert Island guitars.
Yeah. If 5's enough, I'm sure you can do it in 5 guitars.
Well, I could trim it down to that's 5 Les Pauls, right?
Well, yeah. If that's the way you want it to be, yeah, absolutely.
Right. Well, no, I mean, I do have a great appreciation for older guitars, like any guitar player probably does. I do use more recent guitars because I do tend to think that all guitar manufacturers have learned a lot over the 60 or 70 years that electric guitars have existed, and it'd be silly not to take advantage of that. So I would probably take my PRS hollow body with me because it's a fantastic example of creating something with a traditional vibe, but with a modern reliability and materials and manufacturing methods.
And it weighs nothing.
And it weighs nothing at all. And it looks lovely as well, which is great because it takes the head off me because I'm not so lovely. So that'd be one that would go with me anytime. I would also probably, if this is my Desert Island disc and I can choose something I don't own, I think I would have to go for, as you would probably guess, for 54 Les Paul.
Ah, yes.
53, 54 gold top would be fantastic. Wrap over tailpiece, gold top, natural back.
That's the vibe, isn't it?
That's the thing. That's why I made one. Yeah.
But absolutely made of unobtainium for us mere mortals.
Absolutely, yes. I did see quite a nice one for sale, but it would have cost about the same as a house. So I thought, house, guitar.
Yeah, stick with your house.
Yeah.
So that's 2.
Oh right.
We want 5.
You're pushing me, aren't you?
We want 5 out of here.
Well, like a lot of people, I suppose the guitars that you picture are associated with players that you've admired over the years. This is all perfectly natural, we're all the same. So one of the ones that I'd probably say for that is I was always a big fan of Andy Summers in his various bands, especially the Police. So, and I know a lot of what he'd done was on a Stratocaster, on a nice original Stratocaster. That's never really, got me going that.
No.
But that Telecaster, 62 bound edge Telecaster, that is just such a handsome instrument. So one of those would probably be leaning against the shack.
Very nice,
wall.
Very nice.
Yeah. Outside of that, so I've got a Les Paul, I've got a Tele, I've got a modern guitar. I have to say that again, if I could take another guitar with me, it would again be probably one of the guitars that I own, which would be my Hamer Standard.
I mean, this is brilliant. You've 2 of your guitars that are
2 of my dream guitars,
you actually own, so that's brilliant.
That's why I've sort of become owner of them, because I thought I've got to have me one of those, and I have. So I'd take my Hamer Standard, which is an Explorer with a maple top and a sunburst finish, a gorgeous guitar. massive sound. It sounds like a piano when you hit it with a chord. It sounds fantastic.
So tell me if I'm wrong, but I assume your final choice in that 5 guitars will be an acoustic of some description.
Absolutely it would, yes it would. The which one I don't know. But I've played a lot, again, like I said with electric guitars, a lot of modern guitars are so fantastically done. Taylor especially, we
of course,
work
yeah,
a
we're
lot
big
with
fans.
Taylor guitars. The way that they're constructed and how they're constructed makes them A, brilliant, and B, very, very long lasting. Not the same could potentially be said by guitars that were made in the 30s.
Yeah,
40s,
more traditional
50s,
guitar wouldn't be as strong.
and particularly in the middle 20th century. But I would say that if I was going to be gifted a guitar to have on my desert island, an acoustic to strum, I'm gonna say that would probably be a mid-30s Gibson. I'd probably go for a 45.
Yeah,
Because-
we like that.
Because
we
you
like
can't. There's nothing you can't do on one of those. Is there? You know?
the guitar to do everything.
Yeah, I think it would be a late 30s one of those. I was tossing it between that and a Martin. Equally good. Wouldn't mind if James is going to buy me one or other for me leaving
Well,
present.
we can ask him, can't
I
we?
don't mind.
If you get on eBay and,
We'll
and
ask
find
him,
a J45.
yeah. Or a picture of a J45 is probably what I meant. Yeah. That's fine. That's fair enough. But I think that'd do me. That'd keep me occupied, wouldn't it?
So I have one other question, because we could talk all day about guitars.
We
and
do
amps
talk all day
and
about
yeah, we
guitars.
do, yeah, and it's very pleasant. But I think one question I would ask you, which is for a lot of customers and viewers and other members of staff, is out of all the advice that you have heard or given over the years, and we've heard a lot of advice, good and bad, from many different sources. Is there one thing you could say to anybody that's either starting out on guitar or has been playing for a long time but they're trying to make improvements in either sound or how the guitar makes them feel? Is there one piece of advice that you would say to somebody that you think you do that and that will help you in your quest for guitaring glory?
There's a few little things that I don't know whether there's any one particular one that is the key to the universe. But,
No, that would be asking a lot, wouldn't it?
But one of the if it comes to choosing a guitar, I still stick by something I heard a long time ago, which is extremely much true. There are only two things that matter: the sound and the feel. It doesn't matter where it was made, what colour it is, or anything.
Absolutely.
If it sounds how you want it to sound, or how you expected it to sound, or if it sounds like the sound you had in your head, and it feels good, then it's all right.
It's absolutely
You don't
right.
have to go, oh, but it's only this, or it's only that, or I thought I wanted that. You've got it. The other thing that I should always say is, for anyone who's watched the videos I did a few years ago, don't fear the truss rod. The number of people, as I've said before, the number of people who get up on a Sunday morning and take a car to pieces and then put it back together by tea time, but won't turn a truss rod. It does my head in, frankly.
Absolutely, yeah.
So don't fear the truss rod is another thing.
Well, it is the key to making your guitar play properly, isn't it? It's having the truss rod and the neck adjusted correctly.
Yeah,
So.
and if you don't know how to do it, there's plenty of advice, but you don't fear it. It's like, have a go. I suppose the last thing would be about playing, really, is that a guitar teacher teaches you how to teach yourself. You don't go to them and like suddenly load in a lot of ability. They show you what to practice, but the practice makes you learn. So if you want to learn guitar, you pick the guitar up every day, and even if you play for 5 or 10 minutes, it does help. And the more you play, the better you'll get. More lessons won't make you better, but a good teacher will show you where you should be doing more practice. The practice is what teaches you the lesson.
Yeah.
And I've always found that. Another thing, we're both fans of Richie Blackmore, but that leads me on to another thing, that there was something I read in a Richie Blackmore interview a long time ago, and he was people were asking him about being a brilliant guitar player and how do you get so good and what do you do, and he said, well, as guitar players, we all practice and we all think we're great, but if you get in a rut with your playing, or you wish to try and improve your abilities and your inventiveness, he said, try and play a sax solo. put a record on and listen to the sax player.
And try really, really hard.
Because the worst sax player on a record is better than the best guitar player on a record by a long way. And if you can play somebody else's a solo done on somebody else's instrument on your guitar, then that will really inform what you're doing and help you step out of yourself and the rut you've got into and get some new input. And that is definitely something that I've done. I mean, it doesn't have to be a sax player, it could be a violin or a keyboard or something like that. But if you get bored, try to play a synth solo or something like that, not another guitar piece.
So on that bombshell, to become a better guitar player, you need to become a saxophone player.
Well, no, I don't know about that.
The question I told Paul I was going to ask him, I haven't asked him, and it was, well, a two-pronged question. The one that got away, either a guitar and or an amp. What's the one that got away for you?
One that got away?
Yeah.
There definitely is a one.
And is it one that you owned and let go, or one that you didn't buy?
No, it's one that I should have bought. I was looking for. It was when I bought my hollow body PRS, with which I'm completely happy. But when I was looking for that, somebody that we both know, I shan't mention their name, offered me a 1967 ES330 with a Bigsby on it in cherry red. And I could have had that for £1,200 and I turned it down. So,
well, £1,200 might mean nothing, depends when it was, Pod.
It was about 20. It was about the year 2000.
So it was very affordable for the time, wasn't it?
It was really quite affordable for the time, and I was exceptionally stupid not to just take it, even though it wasn't quite what I was looking for. Now it's what I'm looking for.
I know this is questions for Pod, but seeing as we're just having a good old chat now, the one that I let get away once was in my early days, similar kind of time, probably about 2003, was a Yngwie Malmsteen Strat.
All right.
I could have had for £600.
Oh dear me.
But I just looked at those scallops and thought, is that really for me? Is that going to ruin my guitar playing on my other guitars?
And now you look back and you think, does it matter?
No, I should have just had it. Yeah. And was there an amplifier that you've ever let get away, or that you think you wish you could have owned that you?
Not really. I've got an extremely good amplifier that, as you know,
hand built to your specifications.
The Brough amplification made for me, so that is extremely good. But I don't think so. I don't think there's particularly an amp that I wish I'd had all the way along.
I think amps can.
I played through a very nice amp that I borrowed from my school friend when I was first learning electric guitar, because his dad had been a teddy boy and in skiffle groups, and he had a Watkins Westminster.
Oh well,
which is a great little thing.
Yeah.
And I borrowed that, and I was really disappointed when my friend said, "Oh, my dad says, can he have his amp back?
Can I have my ball back now?" Well, I suppose amps are amazing and they are the key to channeling your guitar, but the guitar is where a lot of the magic is. It's where, because that's
it's where your fingers touch, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the thing. And whether it's a different guitar, or it's funny. You tend to guitar players tend to get the same sound out of different guitars, but that's because you play the different guitars because the different guitars make you think differently, and give you a different attitude or a different atmosphere. And sometimes you think to yourself, "Oh, I can only play this song on that guitar," and it might be true. It won't sound any different than if you played it on any other guitar.
Not to the audience, but to you. It's very important. To your head. Very important.
That's why we have hundreds of guitars, folks.
A guitarist always needs one more, as Pod has quite rightly shown.
Very much.
So just to wrap up, another one of our many thanks to Pod for his years of service and his years of inspiration and help to all of us. And I think, as you're a very self-deprecating kind of man, you've said, "Well, I don't know anything that's not out there," but I've used Pod for many years to be my sounding board for if I'm never sure. Pod has always been the sounding board for me, so I can go and ask Pod. So I thank you for that, and for all your help, and
so is everyone else, of course.
And thank you to all our customers for being so kind to us over the years, and look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye.
Yes, it's been great working for you in the various places that I've worked, and thank you for being so kind to me and so supportive of what I do in the various places I do it in. So thank you very much, and I'm sure I'll see you again somewhere down the line. Further on up the road, I should perhaps say.